Hello friend, I want to tell you about the Smart Roadster car. There are many cars on the market that are closer to go-karts than to full-fledged passenger cars. One such model is the Lotus Elise. Unfortunately, not everyone can afford to buy and maintain such a thoroughbred racer. Those looking for a substitute for the British racer have the Smart Roadster. Like the Lotus, it's lightweight, rugged, rear-engined, and rear-wheel drive, but it lacks more power. How does it perform in use? When you sit behind the wheel of the Smart Roadster, you'll immediately feel like you're driving a sports car. The driving experience is enhanced by the low driving position, the powerful engine, and the rear-wheel drive. Unfortunately, at the first traffic light, you'll find yourself easily overtaken by most average diesel cars. A look at the performance figures in the catalog reveals that the 0.7-liter engine variants offered for this model aren't exactly impressive. The base 62 horsepower version accelerates to 100 kilometers per hour in just over 15 seconds. The 81 horsepower version does it in 10.5 seconds, and the top-of-the-line Brabus takes 9.8 seconds. Fuel consumption varies greatly. The basic version is quite economical, using just 5 L/100 kilometers in the city. The more powerful 81 horsepower version consumes quite a lot of fuel for its small displacement, at around 8 L/100 kilometers in built-up areas. The Brabus's fuel consumption figures are difficult to determine due to the limited number of units available. Comparing fuel consumption and performance leads to the conclusion that the most sensible option would be to buy the mid-range model or, if you can find one, the top-of-the-line version. Before you decide on a Smart Roadster, you need to know what faults the engine can suffer from, as it's certainly not a paragon of reliability. Before purchasing, you should first check the engine for oil leaks. Problems with the timing chain are also common, beginning to make loud noises after about 50,000 kilometers. The cylinder head is also fragile, with cracks occurring in many cases. Due to the specific engine layout, repairs are quite expensive and are best left to specialized workshops with extensive knowledge of smart models. Another common problem is a leak in the air conditioning system. This is usually caused by broken hoses near the compressor. However, sometimes the compressor itself is the source of the problem. Roadster owners complain about moisture getting into the right rear light, causing it to stop working. What other issues can make smart operation unpleasant? These include a decoded key and ESP system faults. The airbag warning light also often comes on. This is most often caused by loose or damaged contacts or a faulty control unit. After purchasing the car, it's a good idea to protect the drive shafts. Sooner or later, they will rust. A sudden rise in coolant temperature is another unpleasant surprise that can happen to any Roadster owner. The problem is usually caused by a temperature sensor, which, when it goes off the rails, stops the fan from turning on. The noisy tie rod ends aren't exactly durable either, but sometimes a good lubrication is all they need. Small things like the rear trunk lid dampers, the temperature control slider, and the rear bumper mounts can also fail. Despite its rather mediocre performance, its low-weight, rear-wheel drive, and low seating position make it a pleasure to drive. The design also deserves praise for its decent level of reliability. The car's weakest point is the Mercedes-Benz engine. What might be a problem? Primarily the weak gearbox, Spartan interior, and limited spaciousness. Unfortunately, there are many neglected examples on the market, and these are definitely best avoided. How much should you spend on a Smart Roadster? Prices range from €2,500 to €9,000. Given the limited number of cars available, choosing the right one won't be easy. Thanks for listening. Don't forget to subscribe and rate my video. If you know of any issues with this car that I haven't mentioned, be sure to share them in the comments.